So I grew up going to church. I was raised as a Christian. My parents are Christians. I didn't enjoy going to church. I found it very boring. And then somewhere in my teens, I just lost my faith. I can't really pinpoint exactly when or how, but I just lost it. If I ever even really had it, if that makes sense. Of course, I believed in God, and I ticked all the boxes as a child and as a teenager, early teenager. But somewhere along the line, it drifted. I think earthly life and my friends and things took priority. That stayed actually until 2020. And then we had a really bad experience as a family. My brother, who lives in America, had a heart attack very suddenly. They put him on a coma, in a medically induced coma. He was technically dead for 7 minutes after it had happened, but luckily they were able to shock him and revive him. So anyway, he was in hospital. This was at the height of the pandemic, so we couldn't get over to him, but we were able to FaceTime and see him and speak to doctors and things like that. But it was still very worrying, and the prognosis was very bad. The doctors basically said that he might not ever wake up. If he does wake up, he's unlikely to be the same as he was. And then there was a specific day when the nurses were just preparing to take the tubes out and to see what we were going to find, and loads of members from his church gathered outside his hospital window. We were watching on FaceTime as it all happened, and I can still picture it in my mind right now. They were praying, and I'd never seen anything like it. It wasn't what I knew then as prayer. It was really overwhelming, actually. I think I was sobbing. I'm sure I was sobbing. And then the nurses took the tubes out, and within seconds, my brother was trying to speak. He went on to make a full recovery. Within 7 days from him having the cardiac arrest, he was leaving hospital with absolutely nothing wrong with him. God had saved him. And that was the moment for me where everything changed. I couldn't not believe in this God anymore after what he'd done for my brother. So then in 2021, my husband David was he applied for a job that he didn't think he was going to get, and it was based in Chichester. So he got the job, and we decided to move. We were going to buy a house down in North Bursted, so I'd found Grace Church in Bognor, and it looked like it would be a really good fit for us. And so we were going ahead with this house purchase, and then very suddenly it was pulled off the market, and we were devastated because that was supposed to be our house. We were really upset, back to square one, didn't know what to do, ended up finding our house. Because of that, we have wonderful neighbours, and one day I was out walking with Lizzie with the kids, and she invited me along to Little Bears at her church. And I remember asking her, "Oh, is that the local church?" And she said, "Oh no, it's Grace Church." And I went, "Grace Church? I found that church when we were looking for houses." But obviously the one I'd found was in Bognor. And I don't think I was even aware that there was one in Chichester at that time. So then one Saturday night, I had a really, really vivid dream. I was at the Grace Centre, and I was crying. I was absolutely distraught because I'd lost something, and I needed to be at the Grace Centre to find this thing that I'd lost. And then I went through this door, and then my brother was there, and he was crying and I was crying, and it was kind of, we hugged, and it was this moment of, this building and this place is where I'm supposed to be. And so I woke up, I was still crying. I couldn't speak. David didn't know what was wrong with me. I couldn't explain to him any of this. I was just sobbing, and he thought I had gone mad. The next day is when I came to church for the first time, and that was kind of the beginning of this journey. And then the Alpha course just helped secure the head knowledge of what I was starting to feel already in my heart. And answered questions and made me it made it a bit more factual for me, actually, to go, oh yeah, this is actually this. How can I argue with this? Like, this is right. So yeah, that was incredible, and I just got so much from it. I would recommend the Alpha course to anyone. My journey with God, my walk with God, is still developing. It is still changing all the time, and I can look back to where I was when I first did the Alpha course and had never really prayed out loud. And I would start to read the Bible a bit and pray a bit, and now I look to where I am now, and God is so intrinsically part of my life. I have almost a constant dialogue with God, and I can feel him working in my life.